Hey guys, my name is Kiara. Welcome back to another video. And today we're talking about some things that could be hurting your business when it comes to posting online on social media, but that you may not know about. I feel like a lot of people look at the big things when it comes to like your business not doing well on social media. It's more so like, oh, your messaging or your content's boring or you're not doing different angles or whatever stuff like that. But like I kind of feel like that's surface level. I feel like that's kind of like obvious, like it's common. And I kind of want to touch on things that people don't think about when it comes to things that may be hurting their business on social media. So, with that being said, I'm going to start off with my first point. And my first point is one of the reasons why your business may be hurting on social media is because your content is self centered. And you're probably like, Kara, what do you mean? Like, I'm posting the content for the people. You're like, wait, what does that mean? I'll use myself as an example for what I mean by that. When I first started posting on Instagram, let me say, I did not care about what my audience wanted. I wanted to post cool, creative graphics and I wanted it to be creative. I wanted it to be this. I wasn't really thinking about what type of graphics that my target audience would like. I didn't really include them in that process. I just kind of went with what I wanted, what I saw the vision to be, instead of looking at what my target audience needed. So as far as visually, I did what Kiara liked, what was appealing to Kiara, and not what would be appealing to my target audience. Now the messaging I got right, but when it came to the visuals, I did what Kiara wanted. I did what Kiara liked, and it was receptive. But I feel like if I would have included my creative direction and what appeals to my target audience, I think my content would have been received better. So another example is you kind of talking about I yourself instead of talking about them and how you can give them a transformation. For example, an influencer, you're talking about, oh, come with a day in the life with me, or like yada yada yada, or telling them like, or instead of telling them about like, yo, I broke my camera, I don't know what to do. I got to go to this event in 24 hours. Come with me to figure out how I can get my camera fixed or get a new one. Just switching up how you make it about the viewer, how you can entertain the viewer. Because like they're tired of hearing day in the lives. They're tired about you. They want something that's entertaining. So I would encourage you to look at your content and see like, okay, am I doing this based off what I want it to look like, or am I doing it based off what my target audience wants to see? Like you may see something cool online and be like, oh, I want to do that. But then stop to think if that's also what your target audience would do. Or even, like I said earlier, or even do it in a way that your target audience would be appealed, be attracted to whatever that content or idea is. But starting to be more mindful of your target audience and the things they want to hear. Stop centering yourself. Like even like when it comes to like selling your product, instead of talking about, oh, get this package, get whatever you're talking about, talk about the transformation. Talk about how you're going to help them get from point A to point B. Talk about the value that they're going to get from it. Talk about what their life is going to look like with after they get this product. Center the content about around them and how they can benefit from whatever it is that you offer. So I'll encourage you to look at your content and kind of like analyze like, is this centered around me, or am I making my target audience the center of this content? Because it's their world. Like you the one who want their money. So like put them at the center. You can't be the hero. They want to be the hero. That's a reference from The Art of Storytelling, Brand Storytelling. I forgot the author's name, but he kind of talks about that analogy in the book with like making the target audience the hero and not yourself, because when you make yourself the hero, they're not interested in the story because you're not the center of their world. They are. So I encourage you to kind of review your content and to see, okay, am I being self-centered or is my content centered around my target audience? So I feel like another thing that may be hurting people's businesses when it comes to creating content is you are not finding new sources of inspiration. Like everything is copy and paste. You're just copying what everyone else is doing on social media. The same aesthetic, the same vibe, the same type of copy, the same type of captioning, the same type of color grading or the same type of editing style. There's nothing that differentiates you from what everybody else sees on social media. And I feel like that's so big right now. Everybody's literally copy and paste. It's very rare that I come across someone on my timeline that just stands out, that's unique, and you could tell like they're not affected by the trends or the influences of social media when it comes to content creation. So, with that, I encourage you to look for new sources of inspiration. I will say this: you don't want to reinvent the wheel, right, when it comes to social media, because there is a formula that works. But just because you have the formula that works or you've seen the formula that works for others doesn't mean you have to do it verbatim. You can get that formula, use that formula, but plug in your own splat. Plug in your own style. Make it you. Don't make it them. Don't be like, oh, I see this. I want to be like I want all my content to look just like that. No, make it personal to who you and your brand is. To find new sources of inspiration, I would encourage you to read books, listen to podcasts, movies, whatever it may be. But look to something outside of social media because everybody's looking to social media for their inspiration. So look outside of that. See what inspires you. Read a book. Eat some candy. Go take a walk. You never know what may come to you or what may come to your mind or what ideas may come. You never know what doing something outside of the norm could do for you in your creative process. The next one is not knowing who your target audience is. Now, if you're someone who feels like, oh, I know my target audience, like, I don't think this applies to me, it may be because, and the reason why I say this is because we're humans, we're constantly growing, and we're constantly changing. So, if we ourselves do that in our day to day lives, what makes you think that your target audience doesn't do the same? You may know who they are like the back of your hand in one season, and in the next they may have changed. So don't get comfortable with who you think your target audience is because they can evolve and grow. You have to grow with them. You have to constantly learn them. It's like being married. Like the person who you married 15 years ago isn't going to be the same, you know, from when you first met them. They're going to be a completely different person. You're going to constantly see. I know in marriage they say you experience different versions of your partner throughout the lifetime of you guys being together. That's just like with your target audience. You're going to experience different versions of them. Your target audience might even change. So I really encourage you to just, step back and take a look and relearn your audience, explore them. I know you should be constantly learning your audience, but don't neglect them just because you may think you have a good idea of who they are and what they like and what they think and what they desire and all that good stuff. Like don't get too arrogant to a point where you feel like you don't have to keep on top of it, like, because like I said, they're always growing, evolving, and changing. So we're humans, that's what we do. For the last point, I'm going to say not being a student, not having yourself in a position of a student and not doing research. And I feel like those two go hand in hand. So I'm just going to loop them in together. I think when it comes to creating good content or just being a good business owner in general, you constantly have to do research. Like, constantly have to do research, constantly have to know what's going on, what's changing, what's new, what's trending, all that good stuff. I feel like if you're not keeping up with what's going on in your industry or, your target audience or whatever it may be, or just creating content, like, in all aspects, I feel like that could hurt your business in the long run because, like I said, we're constantly changing. Everything's constantly changing. It's ever evolving. So it's always good to be in the position of a student, to always learn, to always seek, to always research and learn more about your business, especially when it comes to putting content on social media. I think also when it comes to research, learning how to properly research when it comes to doing that. You can start off by SEO marketing, and that's basically like keyword search, typing in buzzwords. I think that's also a really important factor. Knowing how to properly research, because you can research and not really be researching what you need to be researching, if you catch my drift. Like, so learning, being a student, researching and learning to properly research. And I feel like that's going to be really important. Like I said, some people may be researching, but may not be researching the right things or learning the right things to apply towards their business to help them in content creation, or maybe getting information that they don't necessarily need to consume or apply to their business. So it works both ways. So that's all I have for today, guys. Those are my thoughts. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts in the comments or have any questions. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.